Hey everybody, welcome back again to the Brian Boyer Show. I'm Mickey Ryan, and as always, you can't do the Brian Boyer Show without this guy, Brian Boyer. Coach, road trips, home trips, doesn't matter. This exciting season continues with very good results. Another week in the books and a couple of unbelievable victories.
Yeah, and I aged about 10 years or more this week, but the results are what matters. A hugely important week, and there aren't many chances where you can be in first place and in back-to-back games get a chance to knock off the number 2 team. But certainly that was the case because of, Western was in second place. We knocked them off in overtime, and because of that win, now Georgia State moves into second place, and you go on the road there. So certainly a big week for us, and great results.
Now 15-8 overall, 9-2 in the Sun Belt. Do you have to sort of fight looking at it as, well, there's some slack in the rope now, or do you just have to continue? I guess you can't afford to think that way, can you?
No, you can't, because it's, there's still so much at stake, and as of right now, the funny thing is you sit there, as of right now, we haven't even guaranteed ourselves a spot in the tournament yet, the Sun Belt tournament. That's where you have to look at it is, there's still 7 games left, and things, a lot of things can happen, but we're in great position certainly to make the tournament, and with the wins this week, we've helped our chances certainly at winning the league, but certainly still a lot of games to go.
I know you've talked about sort of playing the remaining season in segments, right? So how do you feel about the latest segment? Obviously pretty good.
Well, it was good. And then, we went into this deal a few weeks ago, and we were looking at, a stretch of, 5 or 6 on the road with that one home game being in Western Kentucky. And knowing that this was going to be really a crucial stretch for us, and it still is, but now we're down to 2 games, of that 5 out of 6 stretch on the road, and early part of it's been successful. We're 3-1 through there, so it's been a good stretch, and this is a another big week for us now, as it's our last road swing. We could really help ourselves even more to have success coming up this week.
When we come back on the Brian Boyer Show, we'll have highlights, we'll have a look ahead, we'll have it all, just like we do every week. Stick around.
Hey, good luck on the big date.
Centennial Bank, conveniently open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 1 to 4 p.m. Sunday at the mall at Turtle Creek, Arkansas's community bank.
Check it out, everybody. Our kids are out of their rooms.
We actually see their faces.
Oh my God, he's taller than I remember because we've got the KFC favorites bucket.
Everybody get what they want.
We love this new extra crispy boneless.
Now, they still don't talk to us. If somebody's battery runs out, then, maybe we can actually carry on a conversation.
10 pieces, any recipe, $12.99. And you know what I want? All of us being together.
Aw.
Oh.
They don't care, but I
No.
care. Aw.
And welcome back again to the Coach Brian Boyer Show. Coach, it's been cold outside, unnaturally cold, but your team has been red hot on the court, again rushing out to a 9-2 record in Sun Belt play. And the thing that I continue to like about this team is different people contribute at different times. Different people step up in different games. I mean, you always have a Drea, Jane, Hannah Cadan has become a very consistent scorer. but I see a lot of other people contributing too. I love it.
No, there's no question, and I think it's been, you know, I think teams that aspire and have good years, possibly championship type teams, they have that makeup about them, and you know, and it's you know, interesting as we're starting to prepare for South Alabama this week, of the huge game that Jasmine Hunt had against South Alabama a few weeks ago. Really was the difference in the game, and you know, Jessica Flannery, the huge game at Texas State, which was the difference in the game. So you know, at Western Kentucky, Khadijah has a really good stretch in there, and so it just does. It seems like we've got somebody different stepping up each night, and then at the same time, we've really been able to depend on those main three that you talked about.
You and I were talking about this in the break. This week's player profile on Jamie Ruffins, and literally she's just growing up right before our eyes on the court. That's been a lot of fun to watch her maturation.
Well, yeah, there's no question, and you know, again, funny you say, because I was actually thinking when I was going back and watching the Western Kentucky game last night, but you've kind of forgotten that she's a freshman already, you know, and you know,
hey, there's no better compliment than we forgot you were a freshman.
Yeah, you really have. You know, as a coach, you sit there, it's like your expectations, and you know, you don't. But it's like, you know, she really is playing steady right now as a freshman, you know, and that you know, we made the slight adjustment again a few weeks ago after we had lost to Georgia State here, and we slid her into the starting lineup, and you know, I think it certainly helped her as a player. I think it has helped make, you know, Drea better. I think it has allowed Brittany Gill even to be better coming off the bench. I think there's a comfort level there too. So, but certainly the play of Jamie has really helped this team.
Definitely have to give a nod as well to Carlisha Wyatt. I love what she's providing to the team. She flies under the radar. She works hard, but you look at the box score at the end of, especially these last two games, Western and Georgia State, very productive lines for her.
You know, and again, yes, you're correct. And you know, one of the things you love about Carlisha is that you know, she just plays so hard all the time. You know, you kind of laugh at her because she gets winded really easily, but she just goes all out, and her competitiveness on the defensive end, and her rebounding, and you know, her aggressiveness, all those things. And again, you know, we go back kind of the same with Jamie, made that adjustment and slid her back into the starting lineup, and I think it's really helped this team because, you know, she plays alongside Jane really well. They complement each other really well, and again, I think that change has also helped Jalen coming off the bench.
Obviously so. Overtime win over Western Kentucky, and then really just a flat-out slugfest on the road at Georgia State, and I bet you guys could see that coming. Yeah,
I mean, you did. I mean, you knew it was going to be in both cases. You know, we've had good success against Western Kentucky over, you know, the last couple of years, but you know, as you know, Brad Bobo says in the pregame before the Western Kentucky game, it's like, why don't we just tie it up and play the last 3 minutes of the game? That's what it seems like it comes down to with them. And,
well, he was definitely right about
that.
Another
case where it just, you know, and we played good, and I thought Western played really good, and you know, we were just fortunate to make some good plays down the stretch, and you know, maybe caught some breaks too, but you know, to get the win. But then going to Georgia State, you knew that was going to be, you know, because number one, they're a very good team. And being on their home court where they've had success, and both of us last weekend had come off a little of a disappointing loss, us with Troy and they, a home loss to UT Arlington, so you knew that there was going to be a battle, and it was wild back and forth. Was this my, I guess, 18th year here at Arkansas State, either assistant head. First game I've ever been a part of where we finished the game with only 2 officials. The whole second half, official gets hurt. We finished just a wild game, and really proud of my team for getting out there with the W.
Well, when we come back, you'll see it all. The wild finishes, the overtimes, everything. It's all coming up here on The Brian Boyer Show.
A lot of universities define themselves by where they have been. At Arkansas State, we want to show you where we're going. Our students are the most academically prepared in our history, and our faculty are conducting groundbreaking research. We're investing in education at home and around the world through the first ever American-style campus in Mexico, and we're working on the first osteopathic medical school in the state. Educating leaders, enhancing intellectual growth, and enriching lives. At Arkansas State, that is how we will be known.
The Big Easy is the place to be as Sunbelt teams look to punch their ticket to the big dance. 16 teams will go head-to-head in New Orleans. fighting for a chance of March Madness glory. The Sun Belt Men's and Women's Basketball Championship, March 12th through the 16th at Lakefront Arena. Contact your school's ticket office today.
Well, we've talked about him enough. Let's go straight to the highlights here as we get things going again on the Brian Boyer Show. And like you said, Coach, Western and Arkansas State, these are always exciting.
Well, they have been certainly these last few years, very competitive, and as to be expected with this, they came out and zoned us. We had trouble at Troy against the zone, and it was good to see attacking inside. Jamie got the layup, and there Jane knocking down the little jump shot, and but starting there, look at Drea getting in on the offensive board. She is, in my opinion, she may be the best offensive or overall rebounding guard in the league. She's just so competitive on the boards.
She's turned out to be one of the best at just about everything when it comes to guards in this league.
Well, I guess
pretty much you can say she's just fill in the blank.
I guess that's a fair statement. So, but it was good to see. Also, I know with Brittany Gill, she's, the zone has really, I think, probably stressed her more than it should. Of the way they're playing things, but she came in, hit a jump shot, and here she is with another little jump shot, and that's a big lift for this team. Brittany gives us so much on the defensive end, and when she's able to knock down some perimeter shots like that, it really is a big lift for this team. And then Jess Flannery gets in on the action too against the zone, and great vision by Drea to find her over there for the three. And then speaking of great vision again, finding Jane down low on the block by Drea.
Sure, that's one of those where Jane turns around and thinks, oh my gosh, there's nobody around. I can't miss this.
Yeah, there was actually a couple of those like back-to-back where I guess the zone just, they got lost there. And Drea made some really good passes in that, and to knock or get it inside. But again, you're seeing a lot of, even though within the zone, you're seeing a lot of scores here in the paint. Now here's a good kick out to, Hannah with the three, but even that, starts in the paint with Jane, and then the kick out, and here again, Drea attacks, and then Hannah attacks again. Just really been trying to emphasize the last few weeks of getting the ball inside against these zones, and not getting so dependent on a perimeter shooting.
Game featured 9 lead changes, 13 ties. People really got their money's worth in this deal.
Well, I think probably, speaking, I can speak for us, and I would guess Western too, is that, while there's a steal here, what I was getting ready to say is, the defense was not, stellar on either ends. It was mainly a matter of who was going to keep out scoring, and fortunately we were able to do that. We did not get nearly enough stops, but we played well offensively, and Jalen getting in on action there with the offensive rebound. Again, it goes inside to Carlisha, and there's a kick out to Drea. So we were not very good defensively, struggled to stop them. But we continue to hit shots on the offensive end. That's a tough shot by Hannah, knocking down that jump shot.
Hannah, people may not know, she's really struggled with her health and her shoulders, but when she's healthy, boy, she really makes things happen.
Yeah, she does, that's for sure. And a great extra pass there by Hannah to Drea. And it's if people only knew what she goes through daily as far as extra treatment and things, just to try to keep that thing healthy. And we talked earlier about Gamble on the offensive boards. I mean, this is late. This is in the last couple minutes there. We had to get some scores. Great pass there by Drea. Good finish there, by Jalen. Again, this was within about the last minute or so. And then here's the big one. We're down 3. Not necessarily looking for a 3 at that time, but obviously not going to turn it down when you've got a shooter as good as Jane, and she knocks that down. And then, pretty well contested shot there to where they're able to miss it and send it to overtime.
That was the time to get a stop right there, though.
It was, that's for sure. It was. And then, come out of overtime, and, how big it is, you underestimate in overtime of, how you had an assistant years ago, Rebecca People. She was actually at this game, but she used to have this thing at, whoever wins the tip or whoever scores first wins, a certain percentage of overtimes. We were able to. We won the tip, got the score, and again, didn't get a lot of stops, but we continued to keep the lead because of our scores.
So A-State with a 78-75 overtime win over Western. A lot to celebrate at the Convocation Center. Then you go right back on the road to Georgia State after that.
Georgia State did not play on Wednesday, so it moves them into the number 2 slot. So now we're able to go on the road and try to stay number 1 again. by knocking off a number 2. And again, they played zone the whole game. Came out. Hannah had a huge first half. There's her second made 3 there. Had 4 made 3s on the night. Here's her third one. This is early on. And, you know, not only those help you obviously with the points, but they do such a big thing, such a good job of stretching the defense too. And, you know, good rebound there by Drea on Hannah's miss to get the putback.
Hannah goes for 13 in the first half, and you really needed all those and more.
Yeah, we did. And again, it's another one of those games where, you know, not a lot of stops. And, you know, there's Hannah's, I believe that's her 4th one there, but not a lot of stops. You had to keep scoring, and we were able to do that. Great move there by Carlisha, you know, getting into that short corner area, you know, against the zone and attacking it there. And again, Jane Morrell, you know, how valuable to have a post player that can step out and face and shoot like that, as you see Jane knocking down that shot. And, you know, again, just doing a good job here of getting on the offensive boards and getting scores. You know, Jasmine Hunt again, you know, getting in on the action, giving us some valuable minutes there with the layup.
Jane's always been a good shooter, but it's amazing to me how well she's pushed out her range and how consistently she can hit from downtown now.
Yeah, and that's the thing is it just in the area, you know, it's one thing for a shooter that shoots a lot of threes, you know, to be a good, you know, but she doesn't shoot a lot of them, and it really is amazing how accurate she is. You know, she may only take 1 a game, you know, or 1 every 2 games, or you know, whatever. And you know, she just that's tough, and she's still so accurate and has such confidence in her ability to shoot it. And of course, this is the second half, and really, you know, that's you seeing Jane go inside there of just really trying to attack it inside again against the zone. You know, there's Jasmine Hunt again, you know, inside. So players did a good job of getting it inside against the zone once again.
Well, Hannah carries you in the first half, but Jane Morrell was 17 in the second half.
She, you know, again, trying to get it inside as much as we can. And, you know, Jane was able to, you know, get a lot of finishes. You know, here we go again, you know, just getting it inside. And, you know, we were able to get their 6'4" post player into some foul trouble, which was crucial. This may have been the play of the game. You know, Jamie Ruffins with the steal here and, you know, goes in for the layup and the foul and actually knocks down the free throw. This actually pushed the lead, I believe, to 7 at the time. And, you know, Jane here with an and one, the shot, and also makes a free throw. So there's another, you know, good pass layup by Jalen. So, you know, we were able to get the lead we had it at 10 at one point, and late it was around 7, and then it was just a matter of, you know, we had to make enough free throws just to continue to keep the lead down the stretch.
And Georgia State was very content to make it a glacier-like pace and make you beat them at the free throw line.
Well, especially there late, you know, there was, you know, obviously we've had some struggles at the free throw line, and you know, they did a good job of, you know, competing, challenging, putting us at the free throw line. You know, we made just enough to get the win.
A-State gets the win. We'll be back with more Brian Boyer Show after this.
Hey, good luck on the big date.
Centennial Bank, conveniently open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 1 to 4 p.m. Sunday at the mall at Turtle Creek, Arkansas's community bank.
A lot of universities define themselves by where they have been. At Arkansas State, we want to show you where we're going. Our students are the most academically prepared in our history, and our faculty are conducting groundbreaking research. We're investing in education at home and around the world through the first ever American-style campus in Mexico, and we're working on the first osteopathic medical school in the state. Educating leaders, enhancing intellectual growth, and enriching lives. At Arkansas State, that is how we will be known.
Welcome back again to the Brian Boyer Show. Coach, it seems like we've said the name Jamie Ruffins a lot. She's the profile this week. Good game on the road, key play at Georgia State. When you recruit freshmen, obviously you've got to look at what they're doing in high school and think, how can that project to what we do? And I imagine you're thinking about games like that Georgia State game. How can you do in a game like that, knowing she was playing high school basketball just a few months ago?
Well, the thing with Jamie is, obviously her high school career, but she played on one of the best AAU teams, arguably, to ever come out of the state of Arkansas. It was one of a loaded team, and they traveled and competed against the elite every summer, and that was really good. And so the good thing you were able to, when evaluating Jamie, you were able to see her against the best. I mean, not just good. I mean, literally see her playing and competing against the best players in the nation coming out of high school, and that's the thing is, it never fazed her. She's not. She doesn't shy down from competition. It doesn't faze her, and that's been good for her in her transition into college. Is that, she doesn't get too worked up over who we play. She's seen it all.
Let's get to know freshman guard Jamie Ruffins.
Freshman Jamie Ruffins was a standout point guard at Little Rock Central High School and ranked in the top 40 of all high school point guards in the nation by ESPN Hoop Girls. Making the transition to college hasn't been that difficult for Ruffins, and she says 2 of her teammates are to thank for that.
Well, I would say the biggest people, preparing for classes wasn't hard or anything, but the 2 people that made me feel the most comfortable and adjusted to college life and stuff, I would say would be the twins, Carlisha and Carlette. Honestly, I would say my biggest thing would be listening more to my coaches and my teammates and like the advice they have to give me, because that wasn't my best attribute, I guess you could say, coming out of high school, but I've gotten a lot better and they have some really good advice and they help me a lot, so I guess that'd be my biggest thing. And also defense, that's, usually I try to be like a game changer with my defense.
Jamie says the major adjustment playing in college has been not having the ball all the time like she did as a high school point guard.
I would say my main transition would be not having the ball in my hands all the time, because in high school as a point guard, you usually, like start out the play with you, and then you usually have to run to the spot, get it to who needs to be got to you, yeah, like working without the ball on defense, but like without my person having the ball, I guess. I would say it's nice, not having to do so much work, I guess you could say, and like knowing that, I don't have to worry about, oh, I'm the only, person that can do this certain thing or something like that, we're all good at a lot of stuff, so. I kind of like it how we don't just, depend on one person. Like, if one person's having a bad game, we can pick the other, that person up, and like we just kind of work together and like,
And even though we've heard this before from some of the other players, Jamie is surprised by the musical taste of Coach Boyer.
I wouldn't say it's strange, but the thing that surprised me the most was like the music that he likes. Like he actually likes the music we like, and it was kind of, I don't know, awkward at first, but now it's like, oh, okay, yeah. Like when he'll come in singing the same songs that we listen to, it's like, wow, like, don't have too many coaches that do that.
Reporting for the Brian Boyer Show, I'm Alex Nelson.
I'll tell you, Coach, she strikes me as a mature person. In my previous life as a radio guy, I got to know her during the recruiting process, and she did some shows with me, and I was just blown away by her and her attitude and the way she carries herself, and you can see how well it's translated.
Yeah, and not only on the court, but off the court, her transition into the college life, so to say, academics. She's a great student. She competes in the classroom. Socially, she's very involved. And if you want to really get to know Jamie, take a few minutes to get to know her mom and dad too. Great people, great fans, both educators. They're harder on Jamie than I am. I can tell you that too. They love him to death. They're huge supporters. Had a great following down at Georgia State. Grandma was there. Aunt was there. Love this family's passion for Arkansas State, and certainly they've passed that along to Jamie.
And we'll pass along to this break and finish up the show after this.
Check it out, everybody. Our kids are out of their rooms.
We actually see their faces.
Oh my God, he's taller than I remember because we've got the KFC favorites bucket.
Everybody get what they want.
We love this new extra crispy boneless.
Now, they still don't talk to us. If somebody's battery runs out, then, maybe we can actually carry on a conversation.
10 pieces, any recipe, $12.99. And you know what I want? all of us being together.
Aw.
Oh.
They don't care, but I
No.
care. Aw.
One final segment of the Coach Brian Boyer Show. Coach, we've been looking back. Now we look ahead to 2 games. You got South Alabama and Louisiana Lafayette coming up. As you've said, parity always exists in this league. You've got 9 wins, but you still haven't even clinched a spot in the postseason yet. Both of these teams are going to be gunning for you.
Yeah, there's no question. And you look at the South Alabama team, we actually struggled here with them. We were down at half and played really well in the second half. But, right now, they're home. They have already won at home against Western Kentucky, Georgia State, and Little Rock. They've beaten the best teams in the league at home. And just watching on them film how different they are at home as compared to the road. So, a very tough challenge. They're going to shoot a ton of threes. They're going to play 4 guards at one time, attack you and kick and try to outshoot you and outscore you from the three-point line. And, they make it really, really difficult defensively.
Louisiana Lafayette also coming up 3-8 in the league right now, 10-12 overall. But just another one of those Sun Belt teams that they can show up anywhere, any night and beat somebody, especially on their home court.
Well, again, I think it's, as you said, the pair across the league. It's, they've already gotten a good win, against Texas State early in the year. They took Georgia State and Western Kentucky both to the wire at home. And so, again, another challenge. But I love the way, as again, we talked in the earlier segment, we went in the stretch of 5 of 6 on the road, and, we're 3-1 on that stretch. And it's been a great stretch to this point. And, now whether that means we go and we can get 1 of these 2 or would love to get 2 of these 2. And because after this, that's where, you got 4 out of 5 at home down the stretch. And, so it'd be great to put yourself in the best position as possible when we come back home.
This road swing, like you said, to go and get 1 of 2, to go and get 2 of 2, do you realistically look at something like that and say, okay, if we can get 1 of 2, I still love where we're at? Or do you say, hey, I'm going to be greedy, I want both of these?
Well, I like where we're at if we don't get either of them, to be honest with you. Now, what that does, though, is it puts a lot of pressure on your, these upcoming home games. So I like where we're at this stage, but again, we need more, and whether that comes this week or down the road, we need some wins here. And I think the other thing too is that we haven't talked about this as a team, but we need to start thinking. It's that time you start thinking along the lines of postseason. And right now, from an RPI standpoint, we're creeping up on breaking into the top 100 nationally, and so, NIT is a possibility. We want certainly better than that. But if you were able to get to the NCAA tournament, seeding is now an issue. And so every win at this stage is big for us. And we have a lot at stake. We have a lot to play for here. And every single win we can get along the way is going to help in that cause.
Got just a couple of seconds left in the show, but what would a postseason bid mean to this program right now?
Well, it's been a few years, since we've been, and I'm talking NIT. Obviously, the NCAA tournament, our program has never been there, and obviously that would be huge. And even in NIT, it's been a few years. So it'd be great to get back there. This is a team that deserves some type of postseason. I think it's a team that can win in postseason. We just need to get there and take care of business over the next 7 games.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thanks again. Great stuff as always. The journey to postseason and through the season continues, and we'll see you again next week on The Brian Boyer Show.